All right, hi there, and welcome to your Learning Target 1.3 test. So remember, we should have any 1.3 reviews or tests out that you'd like to use, and this is all about function composition. I'm going to read the questions, and then you're just going to make sure that if you need to pause it. If you need to rewatch me set it up, go ahead and rewatch me set it up. So whatever it is you need to do, this recording is to be used for you to be a little more successful on this. So there's a little error here because we've numbered, but it says use the following functions to answer questions 16 and 17. So this is actually something this should say on your test, because you have the correct version. It should say for 11 and 12. Okay, so that's just a little error on mine, not on yours. Okay, so for 11, it's asking us to find f of g of 2. So remember, we always start with our inner. It gives us the x value, so we're going to plug that x value in to the inner function. So our inner one is the g. So I'm going to write down the actual function, 7 times whatever the x is it's telling us, and we can tell it tells us it's 2. And then I finish the function minus 4. So when I solve that, I will get a brand new x value. And then I go to my outer function. And we take this new value here, and it becomes f of whatever that new value is. And then you set it equal. So your new value goes in here, and again, it's your new x value, so you just plug it into whatever the outer function is. It tells you f. So our f1 is x squared. So I'm just going to leave this as kind of a circle because you're going to fill this number in with your new x. Plus 1. And then your final new answer should be a number, and that's what you grid in. All right, let's look at number 12. Very similar, but it's asking us to do something a little different. The letters are in a different order. So you should be able to do this one with a little bit less help because it's just like 11, except for we're plugging the number into the other function first. So just a reminder, f of 2 is our inner function, and that's our x value. So the first thing you do is you plug the x value of 2 into your f function first. Okay? And then you get a new number. You take that new number, and then this one wants you to plug it into your g. This is your outer. So then you do g of the new number equals, and then you plug it into your g function, which is up here, and you get your final answer. All right, let's go to 13. So the table shows us some inputs and outputs of the function f and h. So this is function f, our x's and our y's, kind of like our y's. And then this is our function h. Again, these are our x's, and then our y's or h's. We just have to look what it's asking. So the first thing we do, the inner function, it is telling us go to the h function, that is this table, and find where x equals 3, and find the number across from it, and you get a new value, which is our x essentially. And then the second thing you do, now you go to your outer function. With that new number as your x, you take that and go to this f function and you look for the new x, and across from it will be your final answer as a number. Okay? Again, any of these problems, you can rewind, you can listen to again. I walk you step by step, so take as long as you need for these, and just do your best. All right, let's go to 14. Here's a graph one. These seem to be a little bit more challenging than the tables, but again, I'm just going to, so you can see it better, but on yours, it's probably easier to see. We just have to be careful. We know that this is the F. It kind of looks like it's a blue line. So that's the one that looks like a parabola, and I'm sure you learned that already in Algebra 1. And this G is it looks like it's in black ink, and this is a downward facing parabola. So just be careful when it's asking you, you're looking at the correct ones. So we have, it's written in a little bit different form, but it does not matter. We still do our inner function first. This is the inner, okay? And it's telling us x equals -2. So I go to my x axis. Remember, it's all about the x's for this section. And at -2, I draw a vertical or an up and down line. So -2 is right here. I need to draw my vertical line, and the lines are kind of already in there for you. And then you just have to be careful, and you have to look at where does it hit the G function. The G, again, is the black one, and you have to tell me the new point where it hits the G. So put that there. That's your new point. It's not your final answer. And then you take that new point, and you do the outer function. So you're going to use F, and again, just your new point, and that's your x value. So whatever that new point is, you go to the x-axis, you draw another vertical line up and down, and you tell me where it hits the F, or the blue line, and that's your final answer, okay? So if you need to listen to me say that again and work through it, please do so. All right, let's go to 15. 15 is find f of g of x when. So it's giving us two functions. When we have our f is going to equal this, so I'm going to use this part that I have in a rectangle whenever I see an f, and g equals 3/2 x minus 1. Now, what I like to do, because I don't like putting fractions in my calculator, I'm going to rewrite this g of x1 to be a decimal, that because I know it's a not repeating one. You can do whatever you want, but just make that a little darker for you, equals. And then 3 divided by 2 is actually 1.5. And then, so I'm just going to copy it, 1.5x minus 1. So I'm going to use this one when I plug it in and do stuff. But again, it does not matter. Use whatever you want. I just like to make things into decimals because fractions can get tricky. So the first thing I do is I look at what it's telling me to do. So this is one where for g of x, it's telling us, it's not telling us an x value. So I am taking this inner, and I have to plug the inner one. So I have to plug the g. This is what this is saying. Plug g, my g function, in as the x value to the f, or outer function. Okay? I take, again, this is how I like to do it, is the outer function. I know I'm plugging something into the outer function. I plug the inner, and it goes into the outer when there's no number there. So I'm going to start by writing the outer function. It's 2 times, and then I'm going to leave a big space. 2 times, this is where the x would normally be. And then plus 8. And then I know, so I'm going to go back to my inner, and whatever my inner is, I'm plugging that right in there. So I plug this in. 1.5x minus 1. So instead of this x, I plugged in my inner function, which was the g. And then we distribute, get new terms, drop down the 8, combine like terms, and you should come out with something like this is what you're looking at, the back of the problem. All right. That is it for the multiple choice section.